Hello, welcome to our Amara site in Glomel. We protect all visitors, subcontractors, and employees who work on our site in the same way. To be safe during your intervention, you will follow this 30-minute safety reception. It includes the questionnaire and its validation with our security department. Imerys has 14,000 employees in nearly 42 countries around the world. The Glomel site is part of the Refractory, Abrasives, and Construction Division. We extract andalusite, which is a material of choice for the foundry, ceramics, steel, and glass industry. The Glomel site includes two main areas. We have the quarry part as well as the factory part. The processes separate the andalusite from the other minerals. The Glomel site includes two main areas. 1. The career part. 2. The factory part. The processes separate the andalusite from the other minerals. The management and the team are committed to building a sustainable and transparent company as well as a spirit of commitment and belonging. Each person on the site is committed to taking care of the safety of all, our employees, our customers, and the environment. First steps. Remember to park in reverse in the car park and the place of intervention. Sign the attendance register in the lobby. This will allow us to check that everyone has reached the assembly points in the event of a fire. You have seen it. You will be working in an industrial environment. The goal is to ensure that our collaboration runs as efficiently and safely as possible. These regulations have been established in the interest of your safety. So respect them at all times. As you can see from the red line on the graph, after several years without an accident, we have one accident per year over the last 6 years, except in 2023. We strive to achieve 0 accidents on site. To do this, we analyze each accident and first aid by cause trees and implement corrective actions. We also take appropriate preventive measures and promote a strong safety culture. Access to our roofs is forbidden and blocked by a padlock. In addition to the risk of falling from height, our site roofs are mainly made of fiber cement sheets that contain asbestos. It is strictly forbidden to remove, touch or move fibro plates in place on one of our roofs. In the event of fibro plates falling, for example following a storm, you must mark the area with physical barriers without touching the pieces and then immediately notify the maintenance manager, the on-call manager, and the safety manager.
Take 5 is taking a break to analyze and carry out each activity safely. You will receive specific instructions related to your activity from the Imerys referent who follows you. He will detail the prevention plan and the risk analysis of your intervention. It consists of 5 steps. 1. Think about the task. 2. Identify the risks. 3. Assessing the risks. 4. Take the measurements. 5. Doing the job safely.
Here is a map of the factory part that we will use later to locate some equipment. To find your way around. You have parked at car park 3, 2, or 1, which are located at the top left of the image. And you are present in our premises listed in the office area on the map. Traffic is a major risk for you. In the illustration, the red and orange lines correspond to the pedestrian crossings on the site. You have to borrow them. Before crossing, please check that there are no vehicles in your way. It is forbidden to walk to the slopes. The minimum for gear is 4-4. The conditions of access and rules will be given to you by your Imerys referent. We are trying to separate pedestrian paths and vehicles. However, at intersections, vehicles have priority over pedestrians. If the machine operator lets you pass, he will signal you. High visibility clothing is mandatory, in order to be seen more easily. In the event of a collision between vehicles, you will be subject to a systematic alcohol test. Random tests can also be done. Stay on the pedestrian crossings, and behind the barriers provided for this purpose. The site has many stairs and elevation changes. Hold the handrail when going up/down stairs. Keep an eye on your work environment. In case of fire, please go to the assembly points. Personal protective equipment is mandatory throughout the site. In quarry, including quarry garage and factory, in all areas assuries in the image. Concerning personal protective equipment, it is mandatory to wear at all times a helmet, safety glasses, high visibility clothing, safety shoes or boots. The P3 mask is mandatory in areas or activities that generate dust. Hearing protection is also mandatory inside factories. The right gloves are worn according to your activity. If you are missing an item, we can provide it. Access to the PPE room is via our security department or our executive assistant. The shell cap is forbidden on site. We have many conveyors and machines. To avoid the risk of grabbing, remove your jewelry, scarf, tie, as well as loose clothing. Close the chasuble, or the jacket. Also make sure to tie up long hair. In December 2021 in the United States, one of our colleagues died on his site. His clothing was wrapped around a drill bar. We do everything we can to improve the safety of our equipment. An essential element to do is to delimit your site by barriers, cones, and/or rubellized. Adapt the zones as they evolve. Relocation of the site. These elements protect you in your construction site and protect people from the risks you generate. They must not be crossed without the authorization of the site manager or the parties involved. We have 7 critical protocols where serious accidents have already occurred within our group. We ask you to scrupulously respect the measures to control the risks for mobile equipment, forklifts, working at heights, electrical safety, consignment, machine guards, securing the land. 1. Mobile machinery. The speed limit is 20 km per hour in the factory and 30 km per hour on the tracks. The operation of machinery requiring a CASES, and are subject to a nominative authorization from the director of the site. You must also have provided your authorizations and authorizations from your employers. Our machine key system is delivered according to the conditions indicated in the risk analysis, use in driving, maintenance, to such and such a person. 2. Forklifts. As with machinery, forklifts require the creation of a checklist to check the safety devices. In the event of a no-go, the trolley remains immobilized. 3. Risk of electric shock. The risk analysis gives you the authorizations according to your electrical authorizations. The SIT has visible cutoff switches, which allow the current to be cut off without electrical qualification. You then place your lock.
We have the consignment, which consists of protecting you from the dangerous energies of the intervention area. You place your padlock on the equipment or a lockbox. No one can restart the equipment until you remove it. For working at height, a permit is required. You give your training to your EMRI's referent. Wearing a harness is mandatory for working at heights of more than 2 meters. Harness mandatory in the baskets. Be careful as soon as you gain height not to be above a railing or railing. For the securing of the grounds, these are specific rules in the pit for machine risk. Intervene by consigning. Be sure to put the machine guard bolted back on after intervention. One of our subcontractors who intervened at the beginning of January 2025 injured himself with a non-shrinkable cutter during rubber work carried out on our site. His thumb cut required 4 stitches. Following several accidents with deep cuts within our EMRI's division, we completely prohibit the use of non-shrinkable cutters by an alternative solution defined according to the task during your risk analysis. Other risks may be present. Use of overhead cranes, chemicals, or intervention in confined spaces. These risks require specific means of prevention. We also have separators, incompatible magnetic, for pacemaker wearers or for pregnant women. Respect the smoking areas. Alcohol and psychoactive substances are prohibited on site. Hotspot work. An individual permit is required for the work. The use of a fire permit is mandatory when carrying out a hotspot, grinding, welding, cutting. Monitoring up to 4 hours after the last hotspot by handing over the right light at the end of the site to the client or the synoptic. In this last part, we will tell you the measures to take in the event of a fire, evacuation, and accident. You can find the safety instructions in all rooms with a telephone. In all cases, immediately alert your superiors and your EMRI's contact. In the event of a fire, trigger the alarm and then call for help, fire brigade. If you don't know how to do it, alert an EMRI's employee. If you are alone, go to the synoptic diagram to raise the alarm. For evacuation, stay calm and join the assembly points. In the event of an accident, call for help, stay next to the victim. In all cases, follow the instructions of the emergency services. Our staff wear yellow helmets, our lifeguards wear orange helmets, the employees, volunteer firefighters in the surrounding fire stations, red helmets. It is important to report accidents to EMRI's. In the event of a fire alarm, please go to the assembly point closest to your area. The 2 points of gathering is found at car park number 1, which is just in front of the offices, and at the quarry garage as indicated on the green signs of the plan. 2 times a week, we have blasts in the quarry. The siren always sounds at noon to warn of mine fire and is composed of 3 sirens spaced 1.5 minutes apart. During the first 2 sirens, you take shelter in a building or vehicle. The shooting takes place at the 3rd siren. If the shot did not work, 4 short blasts of the siren sound, and the procedure begins again. Procedure for Pit 4. The procedure begins with 4 short blasts of the siren, which serve as a warning. Then, 2 sirens spaced 1 minute and 30 seconds apart sound. Period during which you have to take shelter in a building under a concrete slab. Your client will tell you where to take shelter. The 3rd siren corresponds to the blasting. If, however, the shot did not work, 4 short blasts of the siren will sound and the procedure will be restarted once the problem has been resolved. EMRI's will carry out inspections during your construction sites. This can take the form of safety visits, for example, where EMRI's staff can check that you are following the instructions. Take the safety remarks positively, it is a mark of benevolence and improvement developed as a value at EMRI's. You can also provide us with your expertise to help evolve our security practices. We are interested in positive feedback and improvement. This reception is over. Contact your contact, EMRI's, or the security department. A questionnaire and a welcome booklet will be given to you. We wish you a safe intervention on our site.